Oh, hey, y'all. So, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know that my JD Bow industrial machine usually lives right here. And you also know that this weekend I went up to the mountains of Georgia and picked up the Yamata 8500 industrial machine. So I've taken out the JD Bow. It's on the other side of this wall. And I painted the legs of the Yamata, if you remember what they looked like on the trailer. I've got the 750 watt 1 horse servo motor that I'm going to put on. I've made some improvements to the pedal, and I can't wait to show you that. So we're going to slowly put it all together right here, and we're going to test it out, and you're not going to want to miss this. But first, I got to finish cleaning up all these threads. Ugh, they're everywhere. So the first thing I did was I took everything off the legs and I painted it, and I used this paint that I picked up at Lowe's. It's called Hammered Dark Bronze, and it looks fantastic. I'm going to try to get a close-up picture of it so you can see it. But I also painted the pedal, and I painted these pieces here with a paint called aluminum. So I wanted them shiny. And then I took the pedal or the treadle off, and I painted it the same dark bronze hammered finish. And then I went to Harbor Freight, and I got some of this rubberized material that you would put in toolboxes, and I used some 3N spray glue, and I cut this to 9.5 by 7.5 and glued it on there, and that's gonna be really nice. I don't know how y'all do it, but I have a tendency to come in here and sew barefoot, so this is gonna feel really good on my feet. And then I went, while I was at Lowe's, I went out to the garden department, and I bought this piece of material. It's rubber. It's about 1/2 inch thick, and it's 2 feet by 2 feet, and it looks like paver stones. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut up pieces to go under these feet, and I'm going to use that same glue and put those pads under these feet, because there's nothing on there. And I've got this tile floor, because my shop used to be a tile store, so they've put tile and marble and granite all over the floors. But so anyway, that's pretty cool. Okay, so I did want to take a minute. I had that's the clutch motor that was on that machine, and I got a bathroom scale. I'm out here in my welding shop. This is my welding shop. But anyway, so I just want to show you how heavy this machine is. I'm going to put it on this scale. Oh, it weighs in at 39.1 pounds. So might as well say 39 pounds. It is a beast. Okay, so this was the motor that I was going to replace that clutch with. When you're shopping for motors and control boxes and stuff, if you want the one where this is underneath and your control box is at the edge of your table, this design is called a split. Otherwise, the control box will be sitting, you know, right there, and this throttle switch, I don't know, I'm just going to call it a throttle switch, that is actually molded into the side of the case, so you can't even take it apart. That's the same design that I have on the JD bow. When I hooked this motor up, this is a 750 watt 1 horse motor, and it turns out that there's something loose inside the motor, and it would go around about 15 or 20 times, but when you try to go backwards, it went out. And when you try to do that, it would draw so much current that it would dim the lights in the room. So I've had this for quite some time, and I'm unable to return it because of the length of time that I've had it. So I had to order another one, and again, I didn't, this time I'll show you underneath, but I didn't get the split. I got the one that was all in one package, and you saw how much that clutch motor weighed. It was 39.1 pounds. The motor that I have underneath now is 8 pounds, and you can see it's about the size of a grapefruit and a lot smaller. So let me show you what I've got underneath. Okay, so what I have underneath here is still a 750 watt 1 horsepower motor, but you can see that the control box is actually connected to the motor and the controller, and it's still a 750 watt 1 horsepower motor, and it is super quiet, and it's actually the same exact motor that I've got on the JD bow. So I didn't have a problem ordering that. And then right here on the side of the table is the on-off switch, and I've got my magnetic lamp up here plugged into the back of this. The only problem with having this under here is you have to stop, get down on your knees, reach under here, and change things. But I'm going to set it to 1 speed and probably leave it there forever. So that wasn't a big deal to me. Okay, I want to get this thing threaded up real quick, but I did want to show you the belt that was on there was for the clutch motor. So I went to Napa and I brought my old belt and told them I wanted 1 inch shorter. And this is what they gave me, the 3L 390. And they said, if that doesn't work, bring it back. We'll get 1 shorter or longer, whatever you need. So no need to go to some specialty sewing part stores or anything like that. It was just a regular belt from Napa. I like that. All right, so this threads up just like any other machine, and I did put oil in this. I put it in several days ago, so it is good to go. All right, so now I've got everything ready. I just have some mid-weight cotton here. I'm going to fold it over a couple of times, and I haven't adjusted tension or anything. This is my very first time sewing on it, so we're going to learn this together. But there were many things about this adventure that are good and that are bad. If you would like me to make a video specifically about buying a used machine, what all you got to look for, pitfalls, pros and cons, where you get the parts, where you get a table, just let me know, and I'll make that video. That ain't no problem. All right, so this motor, I was really surprised. The maximum speed on this motor was 4,500. Nope, not doing that. I've got it turned to its lowest, which is 250. So let's see how it does. Now the previous owner did tell me that she put new feed dogs and needle plate on here, and it's doing pretty good. This thing's grabbing really well. My belt's a little squeaky, and that's because, I believe, it's because it is, excuse me, it is brand new, and you know, I might not have it tensioned right. I might have it too tight, which is making it squeak a little bit. But all right, so we're going to double this up. We're going to go, let me see if I can count these. It's 1, 2, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is 12 layers of this cotton. And again, I have not adjusted the tension on this whatsoever. Let's just see how it does. My stitch length is on 5. Wow, that's pretty nice. I may later, if I decide to keep this, I may add a needle positioning sensor. Look at that. That's the top side, and that's the bottom. Looks like I can probably give it a little top tension. Let's try that. And of course, she had that knee lift pedal all jacked up. So I had to redo that and get it to where I like it. And you know, when it comes to the knee lift, there's no wrong way or right way. I've had people text me and say, "Hey, you got that backwards." No, you put it where your knee is. You know, make it comfortable for you. You're the one using it. And I got a question for y'all in just a second. Let me get this out. Okay, so this bottom line is the one I just did, and that's on a stitch length of 5, and that's through 12 layers of this cotton. There you go, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 layers of, you know, that's not light cotton, but, you know, it's sort of a medium cotton. But, hey, that looks good. That looks real good. So no surprises on this machine, because I tried it when I bought it. I tried it at her house, and it had that clutch motor on that, and that thing was screaming. Oh my God, it was so fast. So let me ask you a question, you guys with true Jukis or whatever. What is this little window for? What does that do? Can anybody tell me? Okay, so a couple of things I might want to do is I'm going to try to get this residue of this sticker off of there, and that one right there. I might get a new knob just because it's yellowed and ugly, and I would really like to replace these yellowed out plugs with black ones. And there's the front of it. It's just a Yamata, and you see you can pop these little things out, and it's still just the 3 bolts. Pop that cover off so that you can do some work to it. And you see I've already added the quick change foot adapter. I did get new hinges. I just ordered those from Amazon, and I'm going to try to find these just because they're brown and ugly and hard. But anyway, this is the GC8500 high-speed lock stitch sewing from Yamata. And I don't know, it's a pretty nice machine. And I may keep it. I may keep it and put it in the arsenal, but I'm already looking for a walking foot with zigzag. Once I can get that, I'll probably sell this, put the JD bow back in here, and find space to put that walking foot zigzag machine. Maybe I'll put it over there inside the closet. I don't know. But hey, thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it, and have a great week.